Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video. Today we have another Madden 24 roster update guide. Now, of course, not a whole ton has been happening. Of course, this is the very slow part of the NFL season. Some stuff slowly starts to happen once we get to about the July month and a lot of the training camps and camps are underway. And once the teams have really cut down on their rookies and stuff like that. But let's get things underway. I want to show you guys just a couple things, as well as just how to play with the team since there is some confusion. Now, of course, one thing I do want to state right off the bat is this is a PS5 exclusive roster. So this is going to be mainly how to play with the rookies as well. Like I said, this is a PS5 exclusive roster. There is no cross-platform file sharing. Trust me, I wish there was. It would make my life a lot easier. It would make everybody's life a hell of a lot easier. Now, of course, there's a couple things to get out of the way as well. There's stuff I cannot change about the roster, even on the rookies. Now, yes, I have made rookies 1 through 223. I have even made a couple extra. Michael Pratt is one of the main ones. But, like I said, I made picks 1 through 223 because that was when I hit the create a player limit, which means I can no longer create rookies from scratch. So any rookies that I do make from here on out have to be edited over onto other players of similar age because, of course, I cannot change age, I cannot change contract numbers, I cannot change experience, and I cannot change dev traits. So, anybody that asks why do none of the rookies have dev traits, that is the main reason. Whenever you start up a franchise, you're going to have to go in and fix a couple things. The main things that you will have to fix, in my opinion, is dev traits and at least contract years for a couple of different people that signed 4 or 5 year deals. I can kind of do some wiggle room stuff and get guys onto correct deals if they're 1 or 2 or 3 year deals, but I cannot change the actual contract money that they are guaranteed or that they are given based upon their contract. That is one of the major things. Now, of course, one of the major things as well is I have been getting, of course, the depth charts done. The depth charts are, in my opinion, in a very good state. For the most part, the depth charts is to accurately predict who I think will be starting, as well as in what spots, as well as who I think the teams will slowly lean on more and more going into the season, aka some of the higher round rookies and stuff like that. Not everything's 100% correct, right? This is a lot of prediction-based stuff. I have also been fixing jersey numbers as well. But let's get into things real quick, and I'll show you guys how to download the roster and where to go and all that fun stuff. So first and foremost, you guys will want to head over to this little NFL icon that I am hovering over. It is the Creation Center. Then head to Share and Manage Files and Download Community Files. Of course, something that I do want to state is that you do have to download the roster every single time you want the new update. And I will say it's pretty easy to find my roster. It's number 4. Well, it's the number 1 roster on the entire Madden 25 for PS5. But then it is also on page 1 of the community files, the 4th file in total. Like I said, you do have to download it. If you've already had it, it will bring up this screen, overwrite, or save as new. It does not matter what you decide to do, but it will change how the next couple steps go. If you choose to overwrite it, then all you have to do is come over to this load and delete section and load up the same roster name that you just downloaded. Now, of course, if you save it as a new file, you have to load the new file name, okay? If you save it as a new file, you have to go load the new file name. And I make sure I load it by just clicking on it twice. It just makes it easy for me that I'm not worrying about whether or not I'm making changes to a roster that do not need them. Now, as you can see, Keenan Allen's here, Caleb Williams, as well as all the other Bears rookies, Kyron, as well as Austin Booker, and of course, Torrey Taylor, and of course, we skipped over Rome Odunze. But still, like I said, picks 1 through 223. And just to show you guys some of the stuff that has been happening, one of the major things, well, not major, I guess, I mean, kind of major to me. Tariq Cohen signed with the Jets, of course, and then a couple other things have happened. Jersey numbers have been getting changed as well. One of the major ones that I remember is, of course, that I just recently did was Robert Tonyan moving to 85. I actually had him listed as number 85 to begin with, and then his jersey number was announced that he was going to be wearing 40, and then he got moved back, so that was nice. So yeah, you can scroll through the teams. You can see every single player. Like I said, picks 1 through 223. Now, just because you don't see a player directly on the team right away. Scroll through some different positions that they may be in. For the most part, I try to choose player positions based off of team needs as well as just fits as well. Where is that player going to get some of the better opportunities? In my opinion, if he traditionally played left guard in college, but then, the team already has a left guard, at least a good starting left guard, I'm going to move him over to that right side. I'm going to try to get him a little bit more playing time and a better opportunity to really succeed, right? Same thing with safety, same thing with a bunch of other positions as well, especially once you go towards the depth chart and look at wide receiver and, of course, corner as well. Like I said, and then one more thing I can't change as well, just so everybody is clear, is I can't change schemes. I can't think of anybody that's changing schemes. Let's see, who's a team that is going to have a new coach? Like the Patriots, I don't know what Gerard Mayo plans on running, but I can't change them out of a 3-4. Sorry about that. I cannot change them out of a 3-4 just because that is the way Madden works. If I make them if I start moving guys around and putting them into a 4-3, and then all of a sudden you go and load into a franchise, it's not going to show up correctly. They're still going to be running a 3-4, but with 4-3 personnel, right? So teams like that, I can't do a whole ton with as well. So there is that little hiccup. I can't change schemes, so that is another thing that kind of does suck. Like I said, now, one thing I do want to address, and this is I know I have a couple examples on the Cowboys, and I'll go ahead and show you guys these real quick. The Cowboys have a couple people sharing jersey numbers that are actually on the team, and I cannot have players sharing jersey numbers. It's just something Madden's not going to allow me to do. So Damone Clark and one of the receivers, I think it's Flournoy. Yeah, Flournoy, the rookie receiver out of Southeast Missouri State. They are both sharing 18. Now, of course, I can't make them both share 18 because Madden will not allow it. So that is also something that I cannot do. Right? Like I said, I'm trying to do my best to work around a lot of this bullshit and just dumb shit that EA puts in the game that I'm not allowed to change or do, which I understand why they do it. I definitely do. But there is some bullshit that goes on with it. Right? Like I said. If there's any depth charts or any players that are particularly out of position, just like as in terms of like they're at kicker, punter, or QB for some reason. Now, I will say all the retired players are at kicker. I will say that real quick before I get a bunch of comments. All the retired players are at kicker. Cody Davis, Corey Linsley, Damian Harris, Albert Wilson, Derek Watt, Duke Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Rashard Higgins, Billy Price, Devontae Parker, LVE, Logan Ryan, Darren Waller, Justin Murray, James Hurst, Fletcher Cox, Matthew Slater, Aaron Donald are all here. Ryan Jensen is also at kicker on the Bucks, but I cannot release him due to injury. Darren Waller, it seems like he's heading towards retirement. Apparently he hasn't really, I don't even think, shown up for any optional workouts for the Giants so far this offseason, and he's basically been away from the team since the season ended and all that fun stuff. So there is that. Now, of course, like I said, I'm going to show you guys how to play with the roster as well. So once you have it loaded, anytime you want to play with the roster, you do have to load it unless you are hopping into a pre-existing franchise. So what you guys do want to do, just go over to Quick Play. Of course, you can't play online, but you can play offline. Go to Custom Game, of course. And, of course, like you see, all the new teams. Now, of course, a lot of the teams won't have new players popping up on the 3-person slide right here. But teams like the Eagles, who got Saquon Barkley, will. A team like the Giants, of course, getting Brian Burns will as well. So you're not going to see a whole ton of difference. You know, the Bears have DeAndre Swift as well. So you can go play with them and play now. And then, of course, for some reason, this is a question I get asked every great once in a while, is do I need to start a new franchise? Yes, you need to go start a new franchise. You can't load into a pre-existing franchise that you've already had and then, of course, load up a roster. So, once you have the roster loaded, and I will say this, you have to load the roster if you are starting a new franchise or doing a play now. Now, of course, once you start a franchise, once you save it, you can always go back to it and you don't have to load the roster, of course. You have to push active roster. I don't know how many times people are like, I pushed to use real life roster and I picked, the Super Bowl week, but it doesn't give me the updated roster. my roster is custom. EA is not going to allow you to start at any different point besides going into using active roster, and then you could potentially start a preseason, regular season, or a fantasy draft. Outside of that, you cannot start anywhere else, so you do have to play with the 2023 season. I don't think that's that big of a deal. Yes, you'll still have to play the same opponents that the teams played last year, and a lot of teams don't play the same opponents because they're playing a different division year to year, but it's still playable, right? You're still getting that fix of being able to play with the rookies on your team and all that fun stuff. I don't know if you can technically go into Superstar with it. Once you have the roster load, you should be able to go into training camp as well and play. I would assume so anyway. I wouldn't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to do that, but yeah, you can. So go ahead, play with whatever you want. Hopefully, we're about a month and a half out officially now. It's now the 2nd, so yeah, we're about a month and a half out, month and 15 days out or so from NCAA. That's where my majority of my focus will be going into late June. I'll still be getting roster updates done. I don't know if I'm going to transfer overalls over from Madden 25 into Madden 24 for people. I just don't know. It's kind of difficult because with the creative player limit, it kind of does put a stress on the roster of, even if I update it all the way through the next Madden, I can't do rookies for you next season, type of situation. That's always kind of the thing I struggle with is like, yeah, I could easily do, not easily. I could probably get overalls done, and I could probably get the roster updated all season. But then what happens, contracts are still going to be messed up, dev traits are still going to be messed up, and then what happens when you get to the draft next year? I don't have any creative player limits or creative player spots or anything like that. So, just a bunch of different scenarios and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video or any of the videos here on my channel. I would appreciate if you guys do stick around and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime I do send out a video. I still have a lot of content on the back burner. I still got some videos that I do want to make, as well as videos that I already have recorded and edited up on the channel, as well as some videos that I have recorded that I just haven't got around to editing and all that fun stuff. Hopefully, like I said, you guys do enjoy this content. I do roster updates for 2K as well. I'm doing 2K24 and, of course, 2K23 this season because, of course, 2K doesn't do their roster updates in the offseason as well. So go check those out if you guys want to see those. More Titans franchise on the way. I'll probably end Titans franchise probably about July, so whatever I can get out in between now and the end of June will probably be it. I'm hoping to probably get through at least Season 4. I haven't concluded Season 3, just stating the facts here. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed this content, please stick around and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos like this. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.